Hello dear students, welcome back to the Pharma Learning channel. Today I bring another video, that is a video on the filtration centrifuge. So into this video I will try to explain you what are the different types of the centrifuge which are used in the industrial scale. So let's try to go into the details of the filtration centrifuge. Before I go start with this video of this topic, if you need any tutoring or the coaching help for any of the subject or any of the topic related to pharmaceutics and the pharmaceutical technology, please feel free to contact on my email, that is the pharmalearning@gmail.com, or you can reach out with the WhatsApp number given into this slide. So here in the case of filtration centrifuge, basically the two principles are involved together, the centrifugation followed by the filtration. As you know that the centrifugation is a unit operation into which it will try to separate the solids particle from the liquid, that is the solids are going to remain insoluble, while it is also used for the separation of the two immiscible liquids from the single layer. Filtration centrifuge is basically used for the separation of the insoluble solid from the liquid. So after using the principle of the centrifugation, which will try to throw out the material which is heavy in the natures towards the periphery, it is followed by the filtration. So because of that, if you keep the filter paper over there, then the solids are going to be deposited in the form of filter cake, while the liquid is passing to the filter medium and coming out. So the filters and centrifuges are basically used for the separation of the insoluble solids from the liquid only. It cannot be used for the separation of the two immiscible liquids from one layer or from the single liquid mixer. Now let's try to understand the construction. So if you look at the construction, basically it consists of a stainless steel chamber. Usually it is the stainless chamber which is going to be perforated. So this is perforated from the sides. So it is perforated from the side and it is covered inside from the perforation with the filter medium. And what is the meaning here? And this outside container is capped, into which the liquid which is passing through the filter medium is coming out and it is collected. This entire unit is either driven, in this case it is shown it is bottom driven, but while in some of the case it is also driven from the top, so it can be driven either from the top or the bottom. The product means the slurry from which we want to separate the solids from the liquid, it is to be entered centrally. Now let's try to go into the further much more detail how the working takes place. So here as shown it over here, it is like the perforations will be there. So here what you are finding, the filter flow that's shown with both the sides with the black vertical line, so it is placed. Now here the slurry is introduced in the center and this entire basket is rotating either from the top or the bottom. So what will happen, due to the centrifugal force, the solids and the liquids are thrown through the periphery. The solids are thrown through the periphery, but because of the filter cloth over here, they are going to be deposited over there. So this is a cross-sectional view. Try to assume like a three-dimensional that I will show into the next animation, into the next slide. And the liquid, after passing through this cake, it is passing through filter medium, it passed through this perforation, it is coming out from the top. So this is the entire vessel diagram has been shown, while the part of the vessel, that's let's try to understand the one section only that's shown it over here, into which this is the perforations will be there. So this is I have shown like that is horizontally, so you can understand, but it is actually happening vertically. I shown in the second diagram, that's a vertical. So it is passing to this liquid, is passing to this coming out, while the yellow color that is going to be slow, while this green color indicate the direction of the slurry inside it. So now let's try to understand this particular thing by this animation video. This is the entire unit which is known as the basket centrifuge. This is the outlet, that is for the collection of liquid, and this is the inlet from which the slurry is going to be entered from the top. And the entire unit that is containing this cylinder, into which what we can say is the entire unit which is containing the cylinder, into which now it is showing that the slurry, slurry means the insoluble solid in the liquid mixture, is entered from the top over here. It's poured over here, so then it is going to be allowed to pass to that particular basket centrifuge. The another important thing is the filtration centrifuges are also known as a perforated basket centrifuge. That's very important. So it is going to be passed to this particular thing, and as it is allowed to enter because of the centrifugal force, you can say the liquid is coming out. While the liquid is coming out slowly after the passing through the centrifugal force, passing through the filter cake, filter medium, that is a filter cloth, and the perforations which are present in the basket, and the liquid is collected in the form of an outlet, that is like a filtrate. So the centrifugation followed by the filtration both are working together simultaneously in this case. You can see that continuous the slurry is going to be introduced, continuous slurry is coming out, but once the cake is going to deposit it of the suitable size, the process is going to be stopped. So what I can say, it is a much more like a batch operated. But if we are able to remove the cake continuously, then we can make this batch operated perforated basket centrifuge to the continuous one also. Now let's try to in this animation they try to open that chamber, and once the chamber is going to be open, you can find that inside that this is a central shaft is there, that is a rotating part will be there. This is a central shaft, and here you can see that is some of the liquid is also present, and over here you can check that one. This is inside, this solids are going to be deposited. As soon as you remove this one, this is the excess liquid is present over it. So this is like, yes, that's shown with the finger, that is nothing but the solids which are deposited in the form of slurry or the filter cake on the filter medium, the filter medium which is present in the perforated one. Now let's try to look the advantages. The advantage is a very compact and occupy little floor space. Yes, the separation process is rapid because the two principles involved together, centrifugation followed by the filtration. It can handle the slurry with the high percentage of the solids. If the solid proportion is very high, liquid is less. We can also use this separation method, and the solids are often in the form of a cake. Yes, the final product, because of the centrifugal force, it is really the low moisture content. But looking at the other side of the coin, what are the disadvantages? As I told you, majority of type is a batch process. Unless and until we are going to remove the filter cake and try to make it continuous one, the cycle is somewhat complicated. We have to adjust all the parameters: inlet, slurry rate, filtrate rate, the speed at which it is going to be there, and we'll have to check care about the filter cloth. The labor cost is high. The solid may form the hard cake sometimes due to centrifugal force, and sometimes it's difficult to remove. There are the chances of the wear and tear is also there, so the maintenance cost is also going to be high inside this type of the centrifuge. Now if you look at the modifications, then the first modification already I discussed, that is on the base of how that perforated bowl or the basket is rotated either from the top or the bottom. So if it is top, it's top driven, bottom, it's a bottom driven. And the main applications of this perforated basket centrifuge into the chemical industry, the pharmaceutical, it is the most important, that's to remove the unwanted solid from a liquid. As for example, if you are going to prepare the insulin is a widely used peptide hormone that is in the treatment of the diabetes, and particularly we can say that when we are preparing the insulin, at the time we have to remove the other proteins which has been precipitated, so we can remove from the, because the insulin is present in the liquid form, and but other present which are preserved we can remove by this one. It is also used for the separation of the crystalline drug, that is if you are going for the crystallization of the aspirin into the mother liquid. So after the crystallization, if we want to separate the aspirin, then we can use this particular technique also. So my friends, keep in mind the filtration centrifuge, it is working on the both the principle and the name of this particular centrifuge, it is called the perforated bowl centrifuge. So if you like my video, please give it like, please share to your friend, and please subscribe to my pharma enlightenment channel for the more upcoming videos related to pharmacy. Thank you.